lot of people miss dictation because they don't manage their time properly, right? Summarize spoken text, not a big deal. There is a timer for you. You know exactly how much time you're going to spend. It's 10 minutes. But in between, for the multiple choice, multiple answer, fill in the blanks, highlight correct summary, multiple choice, single answer, and select missing words, a lot of people give those questions too much value. So one thing I want to emphasize is for multiple choice, multiple answer, for multiple choice, single answer, and select missing word, all of those questions combined don't even add up to one dictation. Hi guys, Alex here again. Really appreciate you watching all the videos. Really grateful for all the feedback you guys have been sending and for all the messages you've been sending us directly so I can assist you with tips and tricks to pass your exam. By popular demand, I had a lot of people ask me that struggle with listening section in particular, how can they succeed in the write from dictation section of the exam? So write from dictation, again, I personally hate Pearson for that. Many students hate Pearson PTE for that. But they put the hardest question, one of the questions that's worth the most amount of marks, as the last question of the last part of your exam after you've already taken the test for 2.5 hours. So imagine a lot of people are exhausted, a lot of people are tired, and then they get to listening, and then it drags on for 40 minutes, and then you got to get to dictation on top of that. So it's really, really difficult. Fatigue kicks in, concentration drops, but you guys really need to perform. So what I'm going to talk about today is how do you get full marks in writing dictation, and specifically I'm going to give you 3 different strategies or 3 different techniques or tricks that you can use to score full marks in dictation that are going to help you get most of the words right. First thing I want to mention is that a lot of people underestimate the value of dictation. And I had some of you that left feedback in my previous video about the listening section and specifically how to get 90 in the listening section. And a lot of people are non-believers that say, oh, write from dictation not as important, it has the same amount of marks as repeat sentence. Again, I dare you, if you got a lot of money to waste, if you got a lot of money to spend, go take the exam and miss one dictation and see if you can get 79. Just don't write anything. Now do the same thing and miss one repeat sentence, but do everything else perfectly. You'll see there's going to be a big difference in your score. So if you want to argue with me that dictation is not worth a lot of marks, best of luck, you should stop watching the video now. But those of you guys that are really determined to get full marks in write from dictation, the first thing I want to mention is a lot of people miss dictation because they don't manage their time properly, right? Summarize spoken text, not a big deal. There is a timer for you. You know exactly how much time you're going to spend. It's 10 minutes. But in between, for the multiple choice, multiple answer, fill in the blanks, highlight correct summary, multiple choice, single answer, and select missing words, a lot of people give those questions too much value. So one thing I want to emphasize is for multiple choice, multiple answer, for multiple choice, single answer, and select missing word, all of those questions combined don't even add up to one dictation. So why does it make sense that you're spending twice or 3 times the amount of time on it? Those questions, get through the audio, read the options, pick an answer right away. You cannot waste 1 or 2 minutes per questions. They don't add that many marks to your final exam. So in terms of dictation, there's a few different ways, and I'm going to demonstrate in a second how to do each one with a real example. But I'll tell you the advantages and disadvantages. So the first way to do it is some people who are very visual, they literally close their eyes, they listen to the whole sentence, and then from memory they try to write what is the sentence.
Weather patterns have changed significantly over the past 200 years.
Okay, so maybe you would write from memory, weather.
Attention!
Now guys, before we go in the actual tutorial and the actual demonstration, one thing I implore you to do, whenever you practice, you need to practice with the real exam questions. The reason why, because unlike IELTS, unlike OET, PTE exam is all about repeated question, and that's the only way you can score 65 plus or 79 plus. So even though a sentence might be easy, but unless you've heard it before, unless you've seen it before, and you might go wrong with the spelling, you're going to make way too many mistakes. So use all these techniques that I'm about to show you, but on top of that, you need to practice with the real exam material. Patterns have changed. So obviously if you got the whole sentence, if it's all perfect, that's what it would look like. But I notice whenever people do this, they miss a lot of the S's and the EDs. So maybe they'll write weather pattern have changed significantly over the past 2 years. Or they'll write weather patterns have changed significantly over the last 200 years. Okay, so again, those are all mistakes that add up, especially if you need 79 plus. The difference between 90 and 79 is only 11 points. So you don't have that much room in the sentence. In the past, that worked well because the sentences were shorter. Now the sentences are usually longer. Now they made it so tough that if you make those kinds of mistakes, and if you make enough of them, you will lose most of your marks for the whole sentence. So that's one way to do it. Personally, for me, it doesn't work. If I try to do it like this, I definitely fail the exam. The second way to do it that a lot of people find helpful, and actually I learned this from some of our students because it never worked for me before. As they're saying the sentence, you write just the first letter of each word.
Weather patterns have changed significantly over the past 200 years.
Okay, so this is how other people will do it. Again, I'm not great at this, so you saw I had a bit of hesitation because it takes me a while to process this, but they just write the first letter of each word. So W for weather, P for patterns. What happens sometimes, which is the danger, is maybe they forget what the P stands for. Okay, so maybe they write weather patterns have changed significantly over the, and they'll forget what the P stands for and they'll write the wrong word. So maybe they'll write over the previous 200 years. Again, contextually it makes sense, but you're not going to get any marks for this word. So this is the danger. But what I really like about this method, the students who do it and who practice it a lot, they tend to get the right number of words. And even if they forget what the P stands for, they can at least guess something that makes sense in the context, that doesn't really change the context, doesn't really change the grammar. So they're still able to get like 90% of the marks. So this method works really, really well. And the last way to do this, which I find personally works for me, is basically write as fast as possible as the audio is playing to keep up with the audio. But it's impossible to write the full word. So instead what I do is I just write the first 2-3 letters of each word. And I'll demonstrate this in a second, but whenever I do this for the first time, it looks like absolute scribbles. My assistant's gonna play it. 3.
Weather patterns have changed significantly over the past 200 years.
3. Okay. So if you look at this tomorrow, if I look at this tomorrow, or even if I look at this in 5 minutes, I'll have no idea what the hell it is. Okay, so I'll have no idea. But now it's still fresh enough in my memory that I can see W8. So this must be weather, pat. So this was my acronym, PATS. So patterns. And I know that I put the S there on purpose, so I remember it's plural. Have, CHA, so changed. SIGN, significantly over the past 200, and YRS, so years. Okay, the danger that might be here, so for example, my acronym for significantly is SIGN. But when I write out the sentence, I might not remember what it is. So I might write weather patterns have changed significantly over the past 200 years. That's why I keep telling you guys it's always important to reread the sentence after, because if you read significant over the past 200 years, contextually, grammatically, it doesn't make any sense. So you can logically figure out what it is. So again, what I really recommend is you guys practice these 3 different ways. Practice 10, 15, 20 sentences with each method, see what works best for you, and I promise you this is going to help you out a lot. But again, what I mentioned earlier, time management is absolutely crucial. And for those of you guys that enjoy these videos, I really encourage you to give me a thumbs up, to subscribe to our channel and like the video. Let me know what feedback you have. Maybe you have some kind of method that I've never heard of that's going to help other students. But please subscribe, watch our other videos, give us a thumbs up, and share some love. So hope to see you guys soon. Hope to hear your feedback on the exam, and best of luck on getting 19 each. See you soon. At the end, that was really